Middle East conflict now, I know that maybe there's some transit hub from the Middle East country, like the European and also the Middle East visitor
affected.
that cannot, affected. So we Malaysia, we really expected rely on the Chinese, Korean or Japanese. Most of them, the visitor, they will come to Malaysia.
Statistical wise, our focus, our tourists mostly is about 75 to 80% actually is from this region, from the ASEAN region. Yeah. So in that sense, we all the world have been focusing on ASEAN. But with the conflict now in the Middle East, it's just that we want to explore more for our ASEAN region. Yeah. So that is the part that we are talking about. But that doesn't mean that we are forgone all those clients from Africa or even US, Europe. Yeah, we are still doing that because we do have a direct flight from that side, and we do have other transit point. So we are worried about the effect, but we are thinking new ways of bringing them over to Malaysia.
For the short term now, the solution maybe we will focus on the Southeast Asia and also the Asia country. So are we seeing this increasing on the March or April?
Well, as I said, March data is not coming yet, so we need to wait for it. We only see data until February, which is very good. Yeah, it's a big increment kind of thing. March, we really need to wait for the data, and then from all this data, we can do further analysis. If we are anticipating that it's going to be lesser from, let's say, the long haul, like the Europe or US, is it really happening, or they via some other road and came over to Malaysia? We need to analyze that.
But in the February data, is it the Chinese and the Japanese or the Korean?
Chinese increased a lot actually in that sense.
Roughly how many percentage is this?
Do you have a figure for China's market the other day during March, during February?
Oh, double digit growth.
Double digit growth.
Because of Chinese New Year holiday.
But this year, what is our target for the Chinese visitor?
We are targeting is about 6 million. Yeah, we are aiming for 7 million as well. Yeah, but it depends on the situation. Yeah, it is a good year. We are very hopeful. But let's see. Yeah, but as I mentioned, if let's say imagine if it is quite difficult for them to go to Middle East or beyond Middle East, maybe this is the place for them to come. In China alone is billions that we're talking about. Well, we can only be hopeful, and we are my minister with us. We are doing a lot of arrangement. Hopefully, with these changes of strategy, we can still achieve what we aim for.
But for the short term, just now I mentioned, we temporarily just focus on, like the promotion, our marketing or promotion. Just try to tell the Chinese or the Korean and the Japanese they actually can come from the Malaysia through the China airline or something, because I know that I think we have monthly or weekly we have more than China airline direct flight to Malaysia, and some of the European they also can take the transit from China. Is it this kind of marketing or promotion is work?
Well, in our region, in Asia, actually we don't have our so-called air route is not really affected counting. I think the only thing that is affecting right now is the price.
Okay.
Yeah, so how can we in that sense elevate a little, assist a little on that, and then as I said, price increases is everywhere. It's not just in Asia. But if traveling to somewhere else is much more expensive, maybe that would change their mind as well, that they want to travel around this area rather than to go, beyond this area.
The airfare might increase due to
Because I interviewed some of the players that will suggest to like maybe the Russian or the European, they can take the transit from China to
Yes.
There might be.
Yeah, actually that's one of the strategy that we are planning. Yeah, how to without going through Middle East and then to other transit.
Then how long you will take the engagement to actually in the final analyze the review the Visit Malaysia year? How long it will take?
Well, involve a lot of players. Yeah, so it is not just our decisions; it's their decisions as well. How they'll need to test it out as well, right? It is an investment for them as well.
And then because if you use the new hub, the connectivity need to adjust, like what Mr. Chua said, because it involves costs and everything. They have to reroute and everything. Yeah.
All the arrangements.
So normally we don't use Asia as the hub. Especially from China, Korea, something like that. Normally the Middle East carrier, they have a good connectivity to the Europe and everything. So when we change, that's why it takes time because, like Mr. Chua said, the oil prices to reroute, and then it's not our decision, so it's the airline decision also.
So are we see the March actually the zero visitor from the Middle East, is it?
I wouldn't say so
We
actually.
don't say so zero.
Oh, okay.
That's why I mentioned we are quite hopeful. Yeah, we want to see the data to really able to tell the story.
Okay.
It is not a lot of assumption, right?
Yeah.
So we want to look at the data rather than to assume and then make the decisions kind of thing.
Then how soon can we release the data? We all been waiting also.
Yeah, we also waiting.
Yeah, normally we need to wait for the custom and DOSM to provide us with all those data. Then only you can able to analyze.
Understand.
Definitely, it's going to be by end of March, early April kind of thing.
Warmest welcome to all of you. Today is the 10th day of the celebration of the Eid or the Hari Raya celebration in Malaysia.